So I'm currently in my friend's unit, and in here is all sorts of treasure. We've got M3 replicas, there's a couple of Novas, there's the Mobile Virgin conversion unit over there, which is an in-betweeners replica, including a red painted door, which is on the other side. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's some three-wheelers in the corner as well, including Dan's Independent Trading, which we actually dressed up as Batman and Robin a few years ago and went in the three-wheeler as a bit of a homage to the episode where they dressed up as Batman and Robin. So we went as Delboy and Rodney dressed up as Batman and Robin. So this is my mate Dan, and that is us. How many years ago was that?
Probably about 20 years ago.
Brilliant. And that car...
I was in shape then.
Long story short, the reason I'm here is because I've done a naughty. That is my FZR1000 that I accidentally abandoned because I've just been too busy. I didn't have the space for it at my unit, so my mate very kindly let me store it in here. Unfortunately, that was a few months ago, and it's now got a few cobwebs on it. So anyway, here's my FZR1000, looking very sorry for itself. I don't know if you can see the colossal cobwebs that are attaching it to this MX-5, but today I've come to dig it out and get it to its MOT. So granted, this is on a farm, and as you can see, there's just dust and dirt everywhere. This is a cool little thing that might be coming up in a future video, not sure. But yeah, what do you think? Shall I stick in a motorbike engine in one of these three-wheelers? Or shall I help my mate out and do a nut and bolt restoration on a Vauxhall Nova? Let me know what you think in the comments. Quite a few cobwebs up here. Wow, you could probably sell that on a Persian market. Now, to get the bike out, we're going to have to move. I could probably wriggle it between the MX-5 and that 3 Series, but we're going to have to move the in-betweeners car and the 2 Novas. Actually, that one can stay there. We're going to have to move this Nova, the in-betweeners car, and that BMW down there. Now, what I probably should do is actually see if it will start before going to all that effort, because if it doesn't start, then I'm going to have to come back and do this another day. Now, I think this has got plenty of fuel in it, but I need to check the tyre pressures and probably stick a jump pack on it because it has been sat here for a few months. Let's just see if this will actually start out of curiosity. So, choke on, ignition on. No, I'm going to see if it will start without a box first, mate. You never know. Yeah. He's laughing. Oh, I should probably turn the fuel on. What's it on? I think it's on off. No, it's on off. So let's put that on. Is that reserve? I think that's reserve. Let's cycle the ignition a couple of times. You hear the fuel pump clicking away. Is it building pressure? No. Needs a jump box. Right. Right. Let's get the light on. Jump box attached. We're going to have more luck this time. Choke fully on. Fuel tap leaking. That's not good. Okay, worry about that later. Yeah, boy! That'll be alright once it's warmed up, I reckon. Right, we are good. Now we just got to try and wiggle it through this gap and get it out there. How did I get roped into this?
Turn the wheel for the engine. Right. Try that.
That's it. Now we'll get it down now and push it over back.
Just like you're filtering through traffic. Right, help me push them all back now. Come on.
Tyre pressure was low, just topping them up. 42 in the back, 36 in the front. Now, I don't know how much of this you guys are actually going to be able to see because it's very dark. And as good as these little cameras are, they're not fantastic at recording at night. And I've just realised I've still got my torch. Dan's gone off with the car, so I'm just going to have to tuck this in my jacket. As you can see, the lights on this bike are pretty appalling. I think they're probably the original bulbs. I never changed them. Let's put it on the list of things to do. This is just mud I'm riding on now, which is why I'm going 1 mile an hour. So I bought this bike as effectively a barn find, but it wasn't in a barn. It had been left outside for about 16 years. And I got it through Danny at Trade Bikes Direct. And it's, well, it needed a lot of work to get it back on the road, so I had to, oh dear, I had to go through all the brakes. I had to replace the front forks, because, well, it was actually cheaper to buy a second-hand set than it was to repair the ones I had, because the stanchions were completely shot. They were all rusty and horrible. What else did I have to do? I put new tyres on it because they were obviously antique, and I just did the bare minimum to get it back on the road. And then I got it through its MOT. I rode it around for a little bit, and then very sadly I ended up popping it in my mate's unit back there because, well, I didn't want to sell it because I absolutely love this bike. Well, as soon as I rode it, I fell in love with it. And the sound it makes is just absolutely incredible. Don't forget, this is the R1's granddad. So this is the FZR1000, 1987. And this is basically what ended up turning into, eventually, the R1. So this was Yamaha's first 5 valves per cylinder engine, I believe. And yeah, it was just, it was the fastest motorbike you could buy in 1987, I think. It's just a very raw machine. There's no aids, there's no ABS, there's no traction control, obviously, because it's from 1987. The brakes are very good, because I completely stripped them down and put all new seals and everything in. And they're not sticking on, they're not binding, which surprises me. Stuck in second gear there a little bit. In all fairness, the fuel's probably a little bit old. It's been sat in there for maybe 6 months. It might be a little bit longer. I'm really sorry. But this is what, so when I sell a bike, I get people getting upset, oh, you should have kept it, you should have kept it. No, because this is what happens when I keep them all. I don't have space for them. I've only really got space for 1 or 2 bikes in Cardiff at home, and then a couple in the unit that I work from in Bedford. You know, the more I keep, the less I use them, and the more effectively abandoned they become. You know, and I do feel bad about neglecting and leaving this bike after it had been left for so long, but I do want to do a full restoration on this bike, and that will be to come. Maybe I'll do that this year, but I definitely want to keep it. It's just, I like the original kind of patina it's got on the frame as well, because I never restored the frame, all the fairings and the tank that are on it. I
got from eBay. I just paid a few £100 for the whole lot, and it was already in yellow, which is already the colour of the bike. It's not factory yellow, you know, it didn't come from the factory in this colour, but it is the only yellow FZR Genesis on the road. Now I'll let you into a little secret. I am insured to ride this, however, it is not taxed an MOT. And what I'm doing right now is completely legal because I'm insured and I'm riding it to the MOT station. Jeez. Which is allowed. I can't tax it until it's got an MOT. They just won't let me. That's the rules. You get MOT and then you get tax. But you're allowed to legally drive it to an MOT station provided it's booked in, and it is booked in. So yeah, if I get stopped by the Rosa, I've got nothing to worry about because I am legal. So that is actually the main reason for digging the bike out of storage, is because it needs an MOT. And I tell you what, it might need the carbs going through again. It's a little bit lumpy, but that might just be because it's got old fuel and it doesn't actually have a lot of fuel in it. Oh, that would be the worst thing to happen right now if I ran out of fuel. The temperature's staying nice and low. It is very cold out here. It's probably about 1 degrees. It's pretty cold. It's idling nicely though. Yeah, it seems to be running fine, to be honest. Is that petcock still leaking? No. Oh dear. This is just fun. I absolutely love this bike. I think it does have a slight misfire on idle, if I'm going to be honest. I know I said it idles nicely, but it's not perfect. But then again, like I said, it's been sat there for months. I'm sorry, bike, I'm sorry. I won't do it again. So I did cover everything that I did on this bike in the form of video on my channel. You know, if you are new to the channel and you haven't seen this bike before, then by all means, go check out the videos. Oh, yeah, it's definitely... it's not very happy at slight throttle open. Don't pull out, don't pull out, don't pull out. I mean, full throttle it's fine, and idle it's fine. It's just, it might be something to do with the, what are they called, the rubber things, membranes, or it might be just running out of fuel. I would stop and put fuel in it, but I don't know if it'll start again, and I haven't got the jump pack with me. Dan took it in his car. The rev counter light is not on. That's alright, I can hear the engine. I don't need to be able to see how many revs I'm doing. I can guess. I wonder if I tap it, will it come back on? Nope. Tell you what, it handles lovely. Blah 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 blah. Oh, it does pop a little bit actually on the overrun. The revs have to be a little bit higher, and I'm in a very built up area, passing the University of Bedfordshire, or Bedfordshire. There is a car that is driving a little bit closely to the back of me at the minute, so just being a bit wary of him. Pop, 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 pop. Sorry when I'm moving, but my glasses are steaming up every time I sit still. I've got the visor open because I like riding with the visor open. Normally put the visor down at 40. In the summer I might have it open at 50, but then you start getting flies smacking you in the forehead. It's not very pleasant. Do you know what? This is actually quite a happy little bike. It desperately needs a wash though. Oh, should I get petrol? Nah. What I'll do is I'll jump in the car and fill up the jerry can. Oh look, Christmas lights. That's nice. It's that time of year again. Ho ho ho. Uh-oh. It's alright. There's no number plate on the front. Like I said, I'm not doing anything wrong. It's just hassle. Because it probably will flag up. If I pass an ANPR camera, it will flag up and say not taxed, not MOT'd. However, it is insured, like I said, so I can ride it to the MOT station, which is where I'm going. I forget that you have to give it a bit of throttle when pulling away on this bike. I do remember that now. Ah, Laloon. Almost full. It's probably about 90% full. Don't pull out. Thank you. Right, the MOT station is just around the corner, Craven Motorcycles. So I will love you and leave you, and I will see you in the morning when the MOT is getting done. Ciao.
Right, so next morning is the bike at Craven Motorbikes, just dropping it in for its MOT. Don't worry about that. Da-da-da. Oh, hey Bert, what are you up to, buddy? Oh, hi. Morning, buddy. All right, chaps, just dropping the FZR off for its MOT. This is Jason, this is Stuart. What are you working on? What you got here, guys?
KTM 890.
Ooh. Ooh. Spark plugs. Oh, that looks like fun. All right. Well, I'll leave you to it. I'll come back and pick it up with a fresh MOT. No advisories later, yeah? Yeah. It is raining, so I've got to be super careful because these tyres, like I said, are pretty much brand new and it will be very slippy out here. There's my car. I'm here to drop off the wheels for the R1 to get the tyres fitted. That's why the car and the bike are here. But I'm going to take the car back and then come back and pick the bike up. So, happy days. So, sadly, the bike failed its MOT. But, good news, it was just a bulb. So, Jason swapped it out for me and gave it a fresh MOT. So, now we are back on the road with this bike. I am sorry that I abandoned it. It's actually going to be used as my winter bike now because it does need a restoration. Oh, he also gave me an advisory for the rear disc, but in all fairness, I want to put new brakes. So I want to do a lot to this bike, but that will be later in the year. I'm going to use it as a winter bike because, like I said, if you look closely, it's quite rusty underneath the very nicely painted fairings, so it needs a lot of work. Anyway, I'm kind of just waffling on now. I'm glad I got the bike sorted, so I can now use this. And thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And I will catch you next time. Cheers. Ugh. Love that bike.